Russia, Belarus, and 5 Western countries carried out a historic prisoner exchange.
First 7 months of 2024, Vietnam continued to record a trade surplus, with 9 export items reaching over $5 billion.
Local people of Anh Son district do tourism.
You're watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Ha Zhang, your host. Russia, Belarus, and several Western countries have just completed the largest prisoner exchange since the Cold War, with a total of 24 people being free.
The exchange took place at Ankara Airport through the mediating country of Turkey after more than 18 months of negotiations. The exchanged prisoners were citizens of 7 different countries. The White House confirmed that 16 Western citizens have been freed by Russia to return to the US and some European countries. In exchange, the West freed 8 Russian spies and agents, as well as 2 Russian minors, from prisons in the US, Norway, Germany, Poland, and Slovenia. US officials consider this to be the most complex prisoner swap agreement in history between the US and Russia, and the largest since the 1985 exchange of 23 US spies for 4 Soviet spies. The Russian president also personally went to the airport to welcome the returning detainees back to Moscow.
The Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recently warned that statistics from 50 member states of the African Union show that the number of monkeypox cases in the first 7 months of the year has increased by up to 160% compared to the same period in 2023.
According to the Specialized Health Agency of the AU, from the beginning of this year to July 28, a total of 14,250 monkeypox cases and 456 deaths have been reported from 10 African countries, with a mortality rate of 3.2%. Data from the Africa CDC shows that the number of reported cases and deaths from monkeypox this year has increased by 160% and 19% respectively compared to the same period in 2023. 10 African countries have reported new monkeypox cases this year, including Burundi, Cameroon, the Central African Republic, the Republic of Congo, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, Rwanda, and South Africa. Of these, the Democratic Republic of the Congo accounts for about 96.3% of the total number of cases and 97% of the total number of reported deaths this year. Monkeypox is a rare viral disease, usually transmitted through bodily fluids. Infection typically leads to fever, rash, and swollen lymph nodes.
According to the General Statistics Office, in the first 7 months of 2024, Vietnam's total import-export value reached 439.88 billion USD, up to 17.1% compared to the same period last year. Notably, there were 9 export items that exceeded 5 billion USD, accounting for 70.8% of the total.
In the first 7 months of 2024, exports increased by 15.7% and imports increased by 18.5%. In terms of import-export markets, the U.S. was Vietnam's largest export market with an estimated value of $66.1 billion, while China was the largest import market with an estimated value of $79.2 billion. It is noteworthy that there were 30 export items exceeding $1 billion and 9 export items with a value over $5 billion, including electronics, computers and components, phones and components, machinery, equipment and spare parts, textiles and garments, footwear, wood and wood products, transport vehicles and parts, iron and steel, aquatic products.
Coming up next are some updated news.
The Vietnam Chamber of Commerce and Industry, VCCI, has recently submitted feedback on the draft decree on fuel trading, which is being drafted and seeking public opinion by the Ministry of Industry and Trade. VCCI has proposed to amend the draft decree on fuel trading to allow businesses to independently determine the selling price without a price cap, and to also allow traders to buy and sell fuel among themselves. If the new mechanism for managing fuel selling prices as outlined in the draft is implemented, the price cap will be very close to the full cost of fuel supply. Therefore, the majority of enterprises will still have to sell at the price cap, and it will be difficult for them to sell at a lower price to compete with other businesses. As such, this new mechanism does not differ significantly from the current practice in reality.
This morning, the Provincial Administrative Reform Steering Committee held a conference to evaluate the results of the first 6 months of the year and to deploy key tasks and solutions for the last 6 months of the year. With the motto of choosing key tasks, resolute action for the administrative reform work in 2024, the work plan of the Provincial Administrative Reform Steering Committee has set out 40 key tasks. To date, 24 out of 40 tasks have been completed, achieving 62%. In evaluating the results of the first 6 months of the year, in addition to the positive changes recognized by the people and businesses, the administrative reform work in the province still has prominent shortcomings and limitations. The Provincial Party Secretary Tai Than Quai affirmed that with resolute determination, there is no task, even the most difficult ones, the existing problems, limitations, and long-standing bottlenecks in administrative reform, that cannot be done. Accordingly, it is necessary to focus on strengthening inspections and checks on administrative reform, verifying information, and taking immediate remedial measures when there are public feedback. The Provincial Party Secretary also agreed to the plan to supplement the heads of some sectors to the steering committee to deploy the tasks more effectively.
Moving on to today's story. Forms of agro-tourism, community-based tourism, and experiential tourism with participation of local people are increasingly being developed. When people engage in tourism, besides the economic benefits, they also receive a great many spiritual values. So what are these values? Let's explore them through the tourism practice of people in Anh Son district, Nghệ An province.
When we arrived at the border between Tam Son Commune and Din Son Commune in Anh Son district, we were surprised to see a vibrant flower garden along the intercommune road. This garden was planted and tended to by the women of Tam Son Commune to showcase the image of their hometown and attract tourists. There are many different flowers blooming together, with some photo spots for passing travelers to stop and take nice pictures. This is enough to see the openness and hospitality of the local people, and leaves a wonderful impression on anyone passing through.
After receiving the direction from the Commune People's Committee to build an ecotourism and community activity model, we have been very united in implementing it and have received a lot of support. We have had many tourists coming here.
This is the Bong village, Than Son Commune. The party committee and local government of Than Son Commune have mobilized the people to preserve the stilt house lifestyle, revive the cultural identity and cuisine of the Thai ethnic group, which had been somewhat diminished due to modern life, in order to build a community-based tourism experience destination on the journey to explore the western part of Nghệ An province. What is greatly commendable in the tourism development with the participation of local people is that it not only brings jobs and economic benefits, but also helps the people increase their awareness of protecting nature, the living environment, and cherishing the spiritual values that their ethnic cultural identity provides.
We are very excited to both promote the products we make and preserve our ethnic cultural identity.
Not only do they know how to cherish the values from their way of life and ethnic cultural identity, but they also know how to promote and spread these values to domestic and international tourists through social media platforms, actions taken by the youth that are truly commendable and encouraging when participating in tourism development.
It's time to say goodbye. Thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.